Good evening, my friends, and thank you for being here. This is the 5th Christmas since Daphne's assassination. Christmas, a time of tradition, of families coming together to celebrate their relationships, a time of gift-giving, of joy and fun. And yet, for the bereaved, it can be a time of anguish, of a constant feeling of great hollowness caused by the absence of the deceased, which the merriment and warmth of Christmas renders sharper and more intense. As a psychologist who specializes in bereavement, I know that when there is unfinished business around the death of the deceased, the bereaved is suspended in limbo, with no hope of closure and resolution of the bereavement. I cannot even begin to imagine the intense pain of Daphne's family this Christmas. Another Christmas has come, and there has yet been no closure of her brutal assassination that had a direct contribution to this behavior. Day in, day out, we are witnessing and absorbing this culture of impunity. There is a blurring of boundaries between truth and disinformation, as blatant corruption is justified, creating chaos in people's minds. It is a culture that is seeping down from the top strata of our society to the lower ones, where lack of sophistication brings it out in its rawest and ugliest form, both on social media and in the actual behavior of people. There is something very wrong with our nation. It's Christmas. Carols are playing, people are buying gifts. Many are finding creative ways of connecting and celebrating with loved ones, while at the same time keeping COVID-free, COVID-safe. And yet, something I have noticed in my practice in life in general in the last few years, long before the stress of COVID, I have experienced a certain heaviness in people. Daphne's assassination has thrown a dark blanket over our nation, a blanket we are carrying in spite of the glittery promises being made that we are progressives, successful and the best in Europe. And the blanket just keeps getting heavier because no amount of glitter can mask the knowledge deep within us that we have completely lost our moral compass. It is the heaviness of a culture where lack of accountability is promoted as the way forward, where people in the top positions, right to the lowest ones, do what they like and are getting away with it. It is the heaviness of a construction industry which is demolishing our heritage, stealing our space, and covering our sky. It is the heaviness of the might of the business person, big or small, taking our streets and our sea, polluting, shattering our peace with persistent noise, stealing our right for sanity. It is the confusion created in our minds through gaslighting by politicians and high officials, where wrong is said to be right, and anything different to what they say is a figment of our imagination. The continuous insult to our intelligence, where we are branded as being negative and traitors to the nation when we do not buy into the gaslighting. It is the heaviness of the short-sightedness of many of our fellow citizens who are ready to compromise values for material wealth. There is something very wrong in our nation. All this Daphne warned us about. With her sharpness and foresight, she warned us over and over again. With her courage and her sense of responsibility to her nation, to our nation, she uncovered one layer of corruption after another. With her clear awareness of what is right and what is wrong, She challenged the corrupt. With her sharp and precise pen, she exposed gaslighters for what they are. For all this, she was assassinated. There is something very wrong in our nation. And yet, our country can heal. We are not helpless. We need to remain outraged. We need to keep protesting. We need to stand firmly with the individuals and the organizations that are sticking their necks out to bring justice. So my Christmas message to you is this. Let your Christmas cheer be a desire to genuinely connect with the other, to reach out, to love, to cherish, and to celebrate the other. Let your contemplation of the meaning of Christmas, be it religious or simply human, bring you to an awareness of how you yourself can contribute to the healing of this nation. Let your Christmas spirit be one which injects peace into your surroundings and which gives you strength to strive for justice. Let the rituals that you relive this Christmas take you to deeper levels of understanding of the word peace. That peace is not just an airy-fairy sensation, but a concept that requires taking a strong stand and making tough decisions. And like the wise men in the Christmas story, use your wisdom to sieve disinformation from the truth as you journey on offering your gifts, your qualities, in the service of truth and justice. Now to Daphne's family, I dare not wish you a happy Christmas, because how can you be happy when your mother or your sister or your daughter was so brutally assassinated and justice has not been served? My hope is that our presence here and our solidarity with you will fill your hearts with some warmth. From the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you for having given us Daphne. I join with all the people present in the square to tell you that we will keep working so that the sacrifice of her death will not be in vain. We will keep on working for a better Malta. Thank you.